Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another reading vlog where I'm gonna be reading Children of Ruin. It's so hot today that I did not put makeup on because I feel like it would just melt off of my face. That is how hot it is. I am literally dying. I cannot deal with heat. I'm not doing okay. I cannot function. I feel like my brain cannot work. But anyway, this book is the second book in the Children of Time series, which I read the first book of last week, and I have the reading vlog that I will link somewhere in the description, and I think it's this corner. So if you haven't watched that, I advise you to before you watch this one because it has the whole setting of the story. And yeah, this is a science fiction series. I really loved book one, so I was very excited to read this second book, and there are definitely spoilers for what happens in this book, in this reading vlog. And having said all that, let's just get into it. Okay, so I am on page 219, and unlike the first book, this one is told in the past and the present. So we have a few chapters from the past, and then a few chapters from the present, and then the past and the present, and so on. And so we start in the past, and we are following a group of humans, and that is way in the past, before Kern's experiment failed in the beginning of book one. So many years ago. And those humans are on a spaceship, and they are trying to find a planet to basically terraform and prepare for human life. When they get to the planet, they realize that there are already living creatures there. And there is a man in that group called Senkovi, and he is experimenting with octopi. And everyone always tells him that the right word is octopuses. Probably saying the word wrong, but whatever. But he prefers the word octopi, and so do I. So I'm gonna say octopi because it's a much better word. And so he's experimenting with those octopi, and he basically is using, I don't know if it's exactly the same virus Kern used or if it's some sort of similar virus, but he's using that on the octopi to, make them develop. And they do develop, and they slowly start, not slowly, compared to the spiders, it was really fast, and they start learning how to basically fix parts of the ship. And so after a while, they realize that things on Earth have gone wrong, the history we learned in book one, and humans are gone, basically. And so they want to create fake humans, or artificial humans, not sure what they call it. But that's not allowed. But they want to do it anyway to create sort of a colony on that planet that they reached. And basically for the human race to prevail. And that is a terrible idea, but some of them want to do it. And they say that, it wouldn't even be humans because they would be modified to be able to survive that planet's atmosphere and every condition of the planet. So yeah, they wouldn't really be humans, but I think that's kind of besides the point. And basically there are two planets. There's Damascus, which is where Senkovi is with his octopi, and then there's Noth. And a guy goes down to Noth. That guy is called Lortis. And there's some creatures there that they call tortoises, and one of them jams like something inside of Lortis's leg, and yeah, he feels a lot of pain and he thinks he was just poisoned. Also, there are some chapters that are like really creepy because whoever's narrating those chapters always says we and like some of we, all of we, and it's like really creepy. And I'm wondering if those chapters are like the point of view is from those tortoises, because they seem to be the most like intelligent creatures of Noth. So I'm wondering if it is them, but I am not sure. Now, in the present, we see our humans from, I mean, the descendants of the humans from book one, and the spiders that on the end of book one, they were on a spaceship to go find the source of the signal they received. And so they are in that spaceship, and a human called Helena is working with Portia, and she can like communicate with Portia. They have developed a way to communicate. And a guy called Meshner is working with Fabian, and he's trying to get humans to have the spiders' understandings. And the understandings are like memories and knowledge that is passed down through generations of the spiders. So, I mean, that would be very, very useful, but so far they're kind of failing. But anyway, they do get to the general area of where they got that signal, and they see the aliens, and they see that the aliens communicate by colors, which obviously they don't understand what they're trying to say. And also, Kern finds another signal, and when I say Kern, it's just her, like, Kern as an AI. She's, like, in the ship as an AI. And she finds another signal that she recognizes from Earth, and she tries to communicate with that signal, which the aliens are not happy about. But anyway, they do agree to meet some of like the crew, and so Helena and Portia are the ones to go meet with the aliens. And that is where we finished so far. And I am really, really, really loving this book. And I have to say that I am way more invested in the humans from this book, especially like the humans from the past. I'm very, very, very like I really like them way more than the humans from the first book. And so far, the octopi, we haven't really gotten enough from them for me to care. Or, I mean, maybe we did and I just don't. But so far, I really don't care about the octopi, like their little community that was being formed. I'm not really, invested in them. Also, I really like those creepy chapters I mentioned that are like talked in the sense of we. And in terms of the world building, just like book one, it's phenomenal. And also, I'm really liking to see the close friendship between our humans and the spiders. It's really, really adorable. And yeah, that is where I'm at. I'm really enjoying it. And I can't wait to find out what happened to the guy that was injected by something from the tortoise. Okay, so I am on page 353. In the past, Lortis is going through it after being injected with whatever it was. They think it was poison at first, and then the rest of the crew starts thinking that he was infected by something that was infecting the tortoises. And they try to figure out what it is, and then we get a creepy chapter of like the things that talk as we, and it says that we have found a new environment, which I was like, okay. And then we see that whatever infected Lortis has lodged itself in his brain. and then he starts talking as we, and I was screaming internally because that just added another layer of creepy, and I absolutely loved it. And so basically, Lortiz is like possessed by whatever is infecting him and like infecting his brain, and he is trying to get the rest of his crew infected as well. And he pretty much manages to get everyone except for Sankovi, who is just peacefully like hanging out with his octopi. And he is the only one who is safe. And honestly, I'm glad because I absolutely love Sankovi. I think he might be my favorite human, like from the past. Now, in the present, while Helena and Portia are trying to figure out how to communicate with the octopi, Helena gets some intel about Sankovi, and like there was such a cute moment because she learns about Sankovi and about the octopi and like the experiments, and then there is something so cute, and I took a photo of it. She can understand what Sankovi never knew. The octopus could not get the joke, like I guess the one he had a closer relationship with. He could not get the joke, but it understood that he, its creator, was happy. Happiness is a universal, perhaps. Or at least it was something the octopus read in that cackling face and married to some state of its own. The octopus knew he was happy, and it loved him, or valued him, or felt something enough that his happiness was important to it. And that in itself is a miracle. That is the grand triumph. Sankovi never grasped that his creatures could empathize, could apply a theory of mind to entities quite unlike themselves, could be great-hearted enough to be happy that someone else was laughing, even if they couldn't get the joke. And I was like, that is so adorable and precious, and I just like, it warmed my cold heart. But anyway, they are not entirely knowing how to communicate, the humans and the octopi, and the spiders. But Helena can tell that the octopi are like interested and curious about them, but they are also scared because they see them as a threat. And then we get a chapter of like the creepy things, and they are saying, we remember and we know they are coming, and it is time to have an adventure once again. And once again, I was screaming internally because like I don't want anything bad to happen to them, but at the same time, like I kind of do because I like creepy stuff. And then back on the ship, Kern enters Meshner's mind because he has an implant for his experiments with Fabian. And so Kern enters Meshner's mind because she wants to be able to feel human emotions. And then after she feels those human emotions, she's kind of addicted to it. And so then she sends Meshner down to Nod, which is the planet where the creepy things are infecting the life there, but like they don't know, and she sends Meshner because she wants to be able to feel emotions through him, and Meshner gets infected. So yeah, and that was the last thing I read, and I am upset because Meshner was he's still alive, my favorite human from the present humans. So, he was the one who I didn't want bad things to happen to, so yeah. I'm still hoping they can somehow get him back, but I don't know if that's possible. But anyway, I am absolutely still loving this book. I am especially loving the chapters from the past, and also I still don't really care much about the octopi, so oops. But as a whole, this book I am absolutely obsessed with, and I think I might be actually liking it more than book one, because in book one I really love the plot and like the characters were definitely interesting, but there wasn't like any particular character I was like connecting with, and in this book I am actually really liking specific characters, so that might contribute to me liking this book even more. Also, the creepiness factor that is added to this book is also definitely like a factor for me liking it more, and the pacing is also perfect, and yeah, I am absolutely loving this and I cannot wait to finish. Okay, so I have finished the book. And in the past, Sankovi is the last human alive. And he thinks that he might be the actual last human alive in the world, like in the universe, which we know is not true, but he doesn't know what has happened to humanity after things went wrong on Earth. And before he dies, he makes sure to make the octopi know that they cannot go to Nod because it is dangerous. And after Sankovi dies, we get to see more of the octopi and their society, and we get to see them like continuing to develop more because of the virus that is in them, and we see that they are very curious. They want to explore everything except for Nod because they accept what Sankovi told them, that Nod is dangerous. But some generations later, there is sort of a conflict among the octopi because some of them want to explore Nod, even though they know or they were told that Nod is dangerous. But some of them want to explore because, like I said, they are very curious. So a group of some octopi go down into the planet, and the ones that think that that is a terrible idea stay back in Damascus. And the ones that go to Nod obviously get infected with the parasites, and when they go back to Damascus, they are bringing the parasites with them. And they start infecting a lot more octopi. And there are some of them like in orbit in some of these spaceships, and they realize that there is no saving the ones that are down in Damascus. There is no saving the planet. So they basically just destroy the whole thing, and like all the infected octopi and the planet itself, and they just remain in orbit. And that is where we ended with the past. Now in the present, there is another conflict among the octopi, because some of them want to take Helena and Portia to Nod so they can fight the parasites together. And those are the scientists. And the rest of the octopi think that that is a terrible idea. They should just stay the hell away from Nod, or they should just destroy Nod and the humans and the spiders. And so there is that whole conflict again among the octopi. At the same time, Kern is able to upload Meshner's consciousness into the implant. And now they are both in it, like in the implant. And they are trying to escape from the parasites in Messner's body. And at the same time, Kern is trying to learn everything she can about those parasites. And she learns that they manage to access whoever they infect, like they manage to access their memories. And in a way, they can like mimic and become those people, or those octopi, or those whatever creatures it is. And then they are found by the parasites. But Kern actually manages to talk to them, and she tells them the whole story about her humans and the spiders and how they learn to live together. And we also learn that the only thing the parasites want is to experience more of the world. They want to, like they always say, they want to have an adventure. And so they want a truce. They want to experience more of the world, and they want to understand the humans and the octopi, but they don't want to become them, or they don't want them to become the parasites. Like they have learned about boundaries, and they just want to experience more of the world. That's literally everything they have always wanted. And so Kern tells that to the rest of her people, and the rest of her people that have now somehow managed to kind of communicate with the octopi. They let the octopi know about it, and surprisingly, they all accept to just live in peace together. And also, Meshner was now uploaded as an AI to the ship, and Kern is gone, or at least they can't find her anywhere. Even Meshner has no idea like where she went, what happened to her, if she was destroyed. We just know that Kern is no longer there. And the last thing that was an epilogue was that they went out to explore the world, the universe, and they got to a new place, which I think will be the setting for book 3. And yeah, that was the end, and I absolutely love this book. And let's just go into my final thoughts. Okay, so starting with the characters. In book one, I liked the spiders as a whole. The humans I just didn't care much about, but whatever. But I really like the spiders as a whole, as a community, as a society. But I didn't really care about any of them individually. In this one, I actually cared about some characters individually. I really liked Sankovi from the humans from the past. I really liked Meshner from the humans from the present. And in terms of the spiders, I really liked Portia and Fabian. So it definitely had a different feeling, not caring just about like the characters as a group, but caring about them as an individual. And like I said, I think that also contributed to me liking this book a lot. Also, let's talk about Kern for a second, because I hated Kern in book one. Like, I absolutely despised her. But, I mean, she actually was the one who managed to save the day and make everyone live in peace, which I never thought would happen, because she was a horrible person, AI, whatever she was. And yeah, I mean, talk about a redemption arc, I guess. And now that I actually didn't mind her existence, she's gone. So yeah, there's that. But actually, I kind of ended up liking Kern, which I didn't think I would ever say. Also, in terms of the octopi, I did start caring about them more, like in this last section I read, because we learned more about their personalities and their societies, and yeah, it definitely got me more interested and invested in them. But also, like, as a whole, not really individually. In terms of the world building, like I said, and like it happened in book one, it was incredible. We got to see 2 more planets and more species, and yeah, it was incredible. And also the pacing was just like book one, perfect. It was slow enough to explain everything, but fast enough to always have action to keep me interested. And also, like in book one, I really liked the science in this, and I like the technology, which I don't understand much, and the biology and genetics that I do understand more of. And yeah, it's definitely, you know, out there, but it's explained in a way that can be understood and could one day maybe potentially somehow happen. Also, I like the plot. I really loved, and those creepier chapters that added a like eerie feeling, definitely really loved. And yeah, basically, all in all, I think I like this book even more than the first one, and I did love the first one, but there was something about it that didn't give me like that 5-star feeling, and this one definitely did give me the 5-star feeling, so I rated it 5 stars. And I cannot wait for book 3 to come out later this year. Okay, so I think this is everything for this week's video. I just want to say that next week I won't be home. I mean, I won't even be in the country. So there probably won't be a video next week. Like, if I manage to get a video done, I will upload it, but I probably won't. So just a heads up. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!